Hi, I'm Chandra Tekwani. I'm founder and CEO for Core Mobile. I am recording this video to give a background of why I started Core Mobile based on my experience of my son going through surgeries at Stanford. So the first problem we faced was as soon as he's identified that he has to go through surgery, how do we get him ready for surgery? There is a lot of information on the internet. What is applicable to him, what is not immediately clear. And I really wanted a subset of what is relevant to him on my phone. He was 4 months old at that time, and to get him ready for surgery is really a task that I wanted to do carefully. That was the first problem we faced. After that, his surgery was identified um, on a date, and we were asked to come at 7 o'clock. They didn't take him until 10. They told us nothing to eat or drink after midnight. So 4-month-old child, nothing to eat or drink after midnight, and you make us wait for 3 hours, and we have to take care of the child. And why were they taking that long was because all the records were not in place. But the surgery wasn't scheduled all of a sudden. They had 4 weeks advance notice. But all the information was not pulled together from Kaiser, from Palo Alto Medical Foundation, from Stanford. All that happened after we arrived over there. That was the second problem. Why we had to wait longer was, one was the records, the other one was there was a lack of communication between patient arriving at the registration, then admitting, and pre-op not knowing that admitting is done, and the OR not knowing that the pre-op is done. So there was some handoff and delays caused over there. Then he went into surgery, and the surgeon was very confident. She came out and said he did really well. You can go meet him after an hour. He will wake up. And then she leaves. When she left, she really left to go to Hawaii on vacation. An hour or so later, he develops complications. He's put on life support, and then there is a team of experts put together to discuss his case. Now, when that discussion is going on, he's on life support. They are giving him blood, but the team of experts don't have any history of this patient, so they are asking questions. And while they are asking questions, the nurse runs to one computer to access Stanford computer, the other then she runs to access the computer at Palo Alto Medical Foundation, and the third one was this binder with faxes from Kaiser. They are trying to figure this out. And while all this is happening, the father is in the room. So when this went through, the solution was it should pull out the information for that patient, because they have gotten together to discuss that patient. That information should be pulled out from multiple sources and put on the mobile phone. And that's a problem to be solved, and I experienced that, and that's how I came up with Core Mobile. Then they recovered him. After a week or so, he gets discharged. The nurse gives me 20-page discharge instructions and very patiently walks me through it, but I have stayed there the whole week. I'm not getting a whole lot of it. So I say yes, yes. I go home, take a nap, then I start reading through it. One instruction says take him, change his dressing on the discharge tube 6 to 8 hours after discharge, and we were already at 6 to 8 hours. So I tried to change it but wasn't able to do it because a 4-month-old child is like a ball of mass, and every time I tried to do it, it slipped out. So I wish I had a phone there that I could see and gave me a step-by-step way of changing the discharge, the dressing on the discharge tube. So what did I do? I struggled a bit. I called, tried to get help, didn't happen. So then I finally put him back in the car and started driving to Stanford. As I was driving there, I thought, oh, where will I take him? And I realized that they told me you can't take him anywhere other than emergency. I said it's not exactly an emergency. He's peacefully sleeping. There's no problem. It's just the dressing on the discharge tube that I need to change. They said no, you cannot go anywhere. You have to go to emergency. So you walk into emergency with a non-emergency case, then you have to wait a long time. So went through that. So this was an experience which taught me that a phone is a useful thing to put instructions for the patient. Then this was the first surgery. Then he went through a second round of surgery. By that time I was a single dad, and I was a VP at Juniper Networks. I was running their $100 million profit and loss center. So I really did not have a whole lot of time to do between the two. But more than that, what used to get me is when I have a business meeting, this phone beeps 3 times. But when I have to take care of my son, it doesn't tell me anything. Why not? So that is a problem, and that is one of the problems that we solved there on the phone, that you get instructions on what to do next on the patient. And then after that, it was the surveys and the outcomes, and they used to send 19 question survey. Really had no time to do that. The right way would be ask me 1 or 2 or 3 questions in a day, and I will be happy to answer on the phone. And that is what led to my starting this company. It's my fourth startup, and I started this company to solve these problems. And as I did that, I realized there are more problems related to workflow in a hospital. So we went on to solve that, and we'll talk, you will see it in a lot of the PowerPoints and talked about it in various places. What it essentially did was it improved the workflow efficiency, and we make the care patient centered. So you transition from a provider centric workflow to a patient centric care system. And that's what we started this company to do. And we are successfully done it so far. And we are doing it in various hospitals.